Welcome again, Coach. I'm glad to have you here. We're just a day away from a very big fixture in your calendar. Only 8 games into your tenure. How are you feeling about tomorrow's fixture against Zebras Legends?
I'm feeling quite confident. I think preparations could be a bit better, but the team has been doing well. The results have been showing, and they've improved in a number of areas. The guys are training well, and I think hopefully tomorrow it should reflect on the field.
Great. We first played Zebras in 2019. Both our fixtures were there. The last fixture being a 3-2 narrow defeat. What can you tell us about that game? What do you remember about that game?
We probably were a bit hard done by. I think it took a worldie of a free kick that they scored, and it was a game that was close. It was 2-2 at some point, and then Mike stepped up, hit a bullet of a free kick 30 yards out. Can't even blame the keeper. Even an international keeper would have struggled with that. But it was a well contested game. It was a feisty game. The games that we play against them are always very tough. And I think it was a game that we learned quite a bit about ourselves at the time, that we can compete. And that's the most important thing, to play tomorrow's game competing, knowing that the guys that we play against have achieved a lot in their career. They're national heroes, of course, but essentially, it's just the game of football in which we are playing them now at a level where we feel that maybe we should be able to maybe cause an upset for most people. But yeah, we're coming tomorrow to compete. I don't see that being different from the previous game.
Yeah. So Zebras Legends, these are superstars in a lot of people's eyes. How did this game come about in the first place? Do you remember how you initially set this game up? Because I believe it was set up by you.
I don't quite remember the details, but I have a relationship with Dipsy, and I think it was one of those conversations that might have come up about playing maybe for a team that he plays against. Maybe it was Harrata or something, but I think yes, the initial conversation was centered around me probably engaging him, around possibly challenging him. He might have offered the challenge himself because he's a very confident guy. But I think the most important thing from all of that is we are honored, obviously, to have them, and it's a learning curve when you are there on the touchline or on the field to be up against such players. So for them to honor the game, I think that says a lot about us, but also about them, and them in the spirit of wanting to build a rapport or friendship with us on and off the field, because this will be the 3rd installment. And I think that's the most important thing that I take away from that. How it began probably isn't as important, but the fact that we've been able to continue sharing in the highs and the lows of a game of football over 90 minutes on this field is what's important.
Great stuff. All right, so Friday is just around the corner. Any expectations from Zebras? What do you expect to see them play? And then from your side, what can you give us? Are there any little insights you can give us?
We expect to see Dipsy, possibly Bonso if he's not busy with Gaborone United, Mike, OT, Vinny. We expect to see the superstars that as we know them. Marumo probably in goals. There'll be a difficult team to play against. We expect them hopefully to be rusty. Hopefully, because team chemistry is important. It doesn't matter whether you're a superstar and you're playing with another superstar. Team chemistry is important. They'll probably brush that off. But we're expecting a tough game. We're expecting them to be comfortable on the ball. Technique doesn't leave you at that age. It's probably the last thing that leaves you, the pace, everything else, but technique, ability on the ball, they'll be solid. Um, but we gotta make them run. Hopefully, their age will show. If we can't have that show, we need to show our own ability, our own courage on the ball, move the ball about, show that we are just as comfortable on the ball if it's possible. If not, we need to also be there to compete and to challenge every ball, every situation, make the most of it. So yeah, we're expecting them to be at a very high level.
Yo, let me try and answer your questions, man. Uh, how did you guys convince us? Yeah, to be honest, we accepted that invitation or the challenge or the possibility of playing against you guys because of you, Simi. Uh, God brought us together one way or the other, and I admire the young man that you are and the passion you had for football. So I personally felt bringing the legends around your space would also inspire you more and help you understand Botswana football. So that was one of the main reasons why we opted to play against you guys. We don't normally do this, but we do. I guess the guys felt it was something we could do. Yeah, and the last game ended at 3-2. I think mainly because in the beginning the guys were just lounging around and not giving their full effort, and only to realize that maybe they might lose to you guys. So their reputation was on the line. So we had to do something. That's why we had to come up and show our experience and teach you guys a lesson or two. The few infield battles. I mean, we're very competitive guys. We come from a generation that really cared about winning and losing. So losing to young guys is something for us, So we'll compete, man, no matter what. Even in our old ages, we still try and compete. I mean, you guys have the age, we have the experience, and obviously having played at the highest level in Botswana, and some of us having had the opportunity to play outside Botswana. We can't just lose just like that without putting in real effort, and that's what the game is about: effort. We should expect a regular code. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some can't play, some are injured, but obviously we'll bring the Zebras guys, as many guys that have played for Zebras. It's an opportunity for us to rekindle old memories and old good times together. I mean, when you play, you know what football does? It brings you together one way or the other, man. You become teammates, then you become friends, then you become family. So it's a huge family over the years. I like this question. Word of advice. Do you really want our advice, guys? Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, it should be a good game. I mean, some of the guys talk, and we meet socially, and they tell me that they're going to beat me, they'll mark me, and I always ask myself, how do you mark somebody who has played at a higher level than you and you haven't? It's an interesting thing. Sometimes it feels like a lack of respect, or maybe it's just a lack of knowledge or understanding the game. Yeah, being young doesn't mean you are better than somebody older, especially in football. And playing socially should not make you feel like you are good. I'd like to share a little story with you because you did ask and bring this up. When I was growing up, I got invited to these Sunday games, and I happened to play against a group of legends, the guys that I used to watch at the stadium, Kelele Itinyan, Kele Ball Boy. And you know what those guys said after the game? I mean, I was killing them. I was going through Itadi Shubobo, shooting, scoring, excited. After the game, they called me over and and they gave me a lecture and they said, young man, we know your mom, you know you come from a football family. We didn't know you'd grow up so fast, but here you are. You can't be proud and walk with your head held high that you beat a bunch of old men. If you are really that good, yeah, go stadium and go prove yourself at the biggest platform. So I don't know, man. I don't know about your team. If they're really good players, they must be playing Premier League and playing for Zabras. So they must always take it that it's a learning experience when you play football. Even at my age, I'm still learning. I learn a lot from you young guys, but it always feels like you young guys feel you can't learn anything from me. You can only learn from Cristiano. But anyway, we'll see you on Friday, guys. Rest well and look forward for a good game against old guys.